Greetings, dear ladies. I am Kryon of Magnetic Service. Every single time we come before you in a sisterhood, we want you to ignore the fact that the voice is male. The other side of the veil is genderless. This is a message from that place which you would call the creative source, honoring you this moment for who you are. Being female at this particular time on this planet, even an awakened energy, is far different than it was in the sisterhood that you celebrate, that you wish to know more about, and that you were part of. No accident. I always say that you sit here once again. After all of these years, old soul, something tickles that which is your memory, perhaps your awareness, whispers to you, was I there? And if so, can we create again what we created there? I love to take you back to that place, for the sisterhood meetings were often done in the water. Often there was sunset meetings, often, very often, morning meetings. Always in the water. Sometimes you were standing and sometimes your feet were simply dangling in that which is still the warm Pacific. Then it had the trade winds, slightly different, but they were still there, that you have now. And so sacred it was, beautiful. The songs that you would sing, etched into your Akash so clearly. If you could sing them today or perhaps hear them, it might even bring tears to your eyes because you'd remember. And what you would remember is softness and sweetness, appropriateness, and beauty. Was Lemuria a utopia? And the answer is no. But it had something else that you should remember. You were first generation humanity. The children you had were first generation seeded humanity. That means that as the Lemurians went from where they went to the place that they were reborn in on the planet, they carried with them the seeds of what they learned akashically in Lemuria. The Pleiadians were your seed parents. By the time you were doing the sisterhood, you all had been seeded. That is to say, all of your DNA had been shifted and changed. You were ready to launch that which would become the generations of the planet from Lemuria. Now, there were other places doing this as well, but Lemuria was interestingly special because it was an island that was unescapable, a pressure cooker, if you wish, of sacredness. Now, I want you to put two and two together and start connecting the dots. Where did you come from? You're sitting there as a woman in Lemuria, enjoying the one lifetime you would have in a sacred circle, singing songs that were beautiful. Setting the energies that the island needed, the energies for hunting and fishing, the energies for relationships, for worship. You were setting the template of Lemuria, all of you. Where did you come from? If you were first generation seeded humanity, I'll tell you where you came from. All of you had the Akash of a Pleiadian. In other words, there was no Akashic record in the sisterhood because you had never been human. Not a seeded human, not with the knowledge of God inside, not with the soul that has the duality that you have now. Therefore, as you came into the planet and Lemuria as a woman, doing sacred things in this circle, your Akash was blank. except that which you were given from the Pleiadians. And what was their Akash like? It was an ascended sacred planet, one who knew things, who knew about the central source, who gave you the songs, who taught you what you knew. How did you feel? And the answer is sacred. It wasn't hard. Without an Akash that would beat you up or give you any history at all, you were sacred and you knew it and you felt God inside. The songs came naturally. The cheerful attitudes came naturally. The applause after the birth of a child was more than just welcome to earth. It was that a new child was being born who was first generation human. There's a sacredness that you felt there which has not been repeated since. For being born in other places and joining society that was just beginning, along with others who were coming from other Pleiadian homes, had a semblance what you would call of evolution. You started being mixed together in unequal ways. It wasn't the island that you came from. Life after life after life, a balance set in, and slowly the sacredness that you felt as a Pleiadian was tempered. Humanism set in. What men would do with women set in. A dishonoring, a readjustment of the genders set in. And this is common for an unevolved society where one gender is stronger than the other. It happened in Pleiadian times. It has happened before. You might wonder then, what is it that we're asking you to do about all of this as you walk in 2015? Not with a Pleiadian remembrance and not with pure sacredness, but everything else you've experienced. Tonight we spoke of filters. This is one of them for you. And it's part of your gender filter that we did not even acknowledge in a mixed crowd. It wasn't for the men to hear yet again of what they had done or how unequal it was. All through history. It's for you to hear now. The reason you're doing this tonight is to try to recapture pure sacredness of spirit. You see, it's still in there. Can you feel it? Can you feel sacred? Can you wipe away for just a moment all the Akashic remembrances? Can you take the filters away and only remember the one? The one that was the starting one, the sacred one. And the reason is we need you to rekindle it. We need you to stand from this place and go out more sacred than you came in. Let me tell you about sacredness. It's catchy. Other people will see it in you and want the same. They'll see what it does within you. They see the softness in you. They see the purity in you. There's more to this than just having been in the sisterhood. It's about creating a sisterhood worldwide. All females would then understand that sacredness was always women's business because you feel the closeness and the love first. You're a guide for humanity. In order to do that, in these next generations, a return to sacredness is the goal. Let the meeting begin. And so it is.